Welcome back to America's Forum, and you can take it from me personally. Kindness in politics is hard to come by. As we gear up to bring you full coverage of the presidential race in 2016, we're preparing to follow the facts in an environment that is often less than kind. But is there a way to introduce more kindness into political discourse? A new report released this week by the American Bible Society finds Americans endorse Bible reading to boost civility in politics. Passages like this one from the book of Ephesians, commanding us to be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, certainly hold merit and could hold merit on Capitol Hill. Here now to discuss this more, the Vice President of Ministry Mobilization for the American Bible Society, Geof Morin. Geof, thanks for joining us from Philadelphia, and along with us from Newsmax LA is our contributor, Larry Elder. So, we just took a look, Geof, at that passage from the book of Ephesians. How can the Bible's message be used to change the current political culture in America?
It's a great question. You know, we know the Bible's been the most beloved, best-selling book of all time and continues to be. And so when we see people who read that Bible and their lives being impacted, and they begin to understand that that could be a difference maker in the lives, not just them, but of their leaders, we get excited about that. So yeah, we found in our survey, a wide majority of Americans say, we would love to see our elected officials engage with God's Word to learn more about maybe grace, forgiveness, and tone down some of the rhetoric.
Geof, I'm looking at polls showing that more and more Americans are not going to church on a weekly basis. Fewer and fewer Americans are. Isn't there somewhat of a contradiction between that and the notion that Americans are saying politicians should read the Bible more?
For Americans who love this book and continue to read it, they themselves, of course, we challenge them to begin and read it for themselves. And so whether they're in church or out of church, we find that folks in both places read the Bible. That's the critical difference maker. But going into God's Word is, I think, the significant piece here. Finding examples, being challenged, not being torn apart by the ever-divisive landscape of our nation. That's what we're trying to encourage people to discover more about.
And as people try to discover more about God's Word, I can bring you a word from Capitol Hill. During my days there, Thursdays were big days. We had the prayer breakfast in the morning and a Bible study in the afternoon. And I got to tell you, Geof, it was that passage from the Gospels, be as wise as serpents and as innocent as doves, that obviously held the attention of a lot of us there. It is challenging in public life, but what about private life? What do Americans say about their own Bible reading? Any introspection from them in the poll you just did?
Yeah, so in this State of the Bible survey that American Bible Society has done for about half a decade now, we've watched it year after year as those who are engaging in Scripture, they report very interesting things. They report a kind of peacefulness in their life. They report a greater sense of hope. They report a stronger sense of that there's a future ahead of them that isn't going to be as bad as the one behind them, no matter what. We've walked this through different economic cycles and political cycles. So whether it's the challenges of our economy, of an ever-divided landscape in our politics and our racial identity, the Bible continues to be there for us.
Geof, I thought that Ted Cruz gave a wonderful speech when he announced for president, talking about his religious beliefs and how it animates his decisions. That kind of thing, I think, scares a lot of people in the media, because so many people in the media are either not religious at all or even atheists.
Yeah, we understand, of course, our nation is more divided, more diverse in terms of its religious perspectives. And I think that's actually healthy in terms of the kinds of conversation. We're not looking for monolithic presentation of religion in this conversation. But we think that the engagement with the Scriptures, we know this, we've watched this through the church over time, and in this survey it's revealed that engagement with the Scriptures helps this nation discover something important about some key things that we all need. Let's learn about forgiveness. Let's see some great examples of humble leaders who serve not just for themselves but for others. Let's be challenged by it. Let's be encouraged by it. That's what I think is coming through from the survey.
And we will have to leave it there. Geof Morin in Philadelphia, the American Bible Society, Larry Elder of Newsmax LA. We thank you both for your time, and America's Forum will continue right after this.